Okay, section 2.5 continued again. This time we're dividing by decimals. In order to divide by a decimal, we have to realize that we have to remove the decimal from the divisor before we can actually do that. So here with 24 divided by a negative 1.2, the first thing that we're going to do is, of course, our negative divided by a positive, and a positive divided by a negative, which is going to give us a negative answer. Then we have to move the decimal out of the divisor here, one place here, so we'll also move it one place here in the dividend. The decimal's here, and then it'll come up into our dividend up here. So 12 will go into 24 two times with 0 left over, and 12 will go into 0 0 times. Don't forget that 0, it's really important. And so our answer is a negative 20. Our next problem, we have a 2.5 divided by a 0.2. So positive answer, of course, positive divided by a positive. We're going to move this decimal one place this way, so it moves one place this way in the dividend and comes up into the quotient here. 2 will go into 2 one time, 0 left over. 2 will go into 4 two times, 0 left over. 2 will go into 5 two times, with 1 left over, so we'll need another 0 out here, and that remainder of 1, and 2 will go into 10 5 times. So our answer is 12.5. Our next problem, we have a negative divided by a negative, which is of course a positive, and this one we have 1, 2, 3 places to move that decimal, so 1, 2, and you notice I've added extra zeros in here, and the decimal will be right there in the quotient, or in the divisor, and therefore right there in the quotient. So now we're just dividing 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 will go into 2 0 times with 2 left over. 3 will go into 26 6 times. No, not 6 times. Sorry about that. 8 times. And 8 times 3 is 24 with 2 left over. 3 will go into 26 times with 2 left over, and you notice that decimal came up, and 3 goes into 26 times with 2 left over, and at this point, remember, we feel like a broken record, so we put the bar over it, and so we have 3086 and 0.666 repeating. Our last example number 45, we have negative 27.19 divided by 1.9. So I've taken this and put it down here. And then we're going to move the decimal one place here and one place here. And a negative divided by a positive is going to give us a negative, so we put that up there. Now this problem is a little bit different in that we're going to use some approximation techniques in order to be talking about dividing. So this number 27 and this number 19, this is about 30 and this is about 20. 2 would go into 3 about one time. So 19 will go into 27 one time. 1 times 19 is 19, and we do our subtraction there, and we're going to get 8 left over. And then we're going to bring down the 1. And then we have 20, remember, it's about 20, and this is about 80. So this is about 80, and 20 times 4 would give us 80. So what we're going to say is that that's going to be about 4. So we do 19 times 4. And when you do 19 times 4, 19 times 4 gives us 76. And then we do our subtraction, and that subtraction leaves us left over with a 5. And then we bring down the 9. And so we see that this one is about 60. And 20 would be going into 60 3 times, and so we should assume that 19 will go in there about 3 times, and in fact when we do the multiplication we find that 19 times 3 is 57, and so now we have a 2 left over, and so now the 2, so 19 will go into 20 one time, and then we would have 1 left over, but we don't have to go any further because this problem had said to round to the nearest tenth. So tenths, remember, are right there, and so we're looking at this to round to the nearest tenth, so we're going to say that this is approximately negative 114.3, and that will be our approximated answer. But I wanted you to see this approximation with rounding. This will come up again when we round with or divide by polynomials. So rounding this up and looking at this into the highest number